Good morning. Let's have a look at yesterday and both teams to score match in the 8 o'clock. If you were up for that, well, I have an excuse. I'm 6 hours ahead, but hopefully you got involved. Turkey, I did back them in the winners market along with Italy. Who else? Croatia out, two very late equalisers scuppered their chances, so we're very unlucky there. But Turkey back to 140, they're down to 55 now. So that's an excellent, what a brilliant result. The reason I backed Turkey, and I put that in the e-letter, is because they won 3 away matches in their group stage, including one against Croatia. So that's some good going. Austria just not clicking, or was the Turkish defence clicking? Brilliant result. That's one of my teams remaining. Both teams to score. Netherlands were just, well, eye-catching. Remarkable scoreline. It probably says more about Romania, who just lacking up front. Absolutely nothing really to trouble the Dutch. And Cody Gakpo is finding himself at the top of the golden boot tree. One of my picks. Bellingham is still alive at 14.5 with his 2 goals. Hopefully, we get some longevity out of England, and Bellingham will have a good chance of scoring some more. On to the tennis yesterday, and some good calls, all in all, and one monster call if you've been following the Yaz trades. What am I talking about? Well, let's have a look at the great lady and her famous song. The only way is up. Famous Betfair trader Yaz. So what do I mean by the only way is up? Let me give you a prime example of the only way is up. Come on, where are you? It was a well-poised match. We had second time on grass, 20 plus aces, stomach condition, and that famous mood of his where he just batted his knee. Rublev gave a brilliant fight back. That set was crucial. So I did put forward, if you wanted to back a 1.03 shot at evens, well, it's a very rare opportunity. But if you're laying, I've said it before, particularly 1.05 odds, that is a monster win, 33 to 1. So it'll all be worth it. You get small liability losses because they're expected to win comfortably. You can see with Novak Djokovic and with Zverev. But at these odds, 1.02 to lay, you've got to lay. The only way is up. And you'll pick one up. 33 to 1 return. Not too shabby. Elsewhere yesterday, well done to Hilary Dart. Let's have a look through. Anything catch my eye? Katie Boulter. Well, I would have been poised had she lost the first set. Really battling performance from Katie. Had she lost the first set, I'd have been all over this. But well done, Katie Boulter. We've got another, the only way is up as well, with our old mate Jack Draper. We'll come to him when we get there. Carolina Wozniacki continuing her excellent set of matches recently. She could be one to follow, Wozza. She's back to something like her very best. Let me just have a look. Prior to Wimbledon, she gave a good impression here. This was a retirement for Wozza. So that was another question mark, like Elise Mertens, but Kudermetova win and the Svitolina win very much against the odds. Well, Svitolina 1.26 with 1x bet. Excuse me. So watch out for Wozniacki. She could surprise. Jabeur has been in the final a couple of occasions. In the men's game, you've got your 2-0 to 2-1 popping up again. So if you want to follow that technique, 2-0 to 2-1, you get out at the third set. As I said with Billy Harris, but I had to go out to the shops. So I hope you covered this yourself, got out at the third set. I did put him forward. De Minaur, another 1.05, really made to work hard. What a pity none of these tiebreakers went in our favour as layers, but he's very much worth following. Hubert Hurkacz lost the first set. Very little value to be had. This only rises to about 1.1 or 1.12, or even a little bit higher. So it's very difficult to get value unless you want to back Hurkacz in the 3-1 set winning market. Mapeshi Pericard, yet another round of tiebreakers. I did get out of this one once Korda was called for a medical timeout after, I think, securing that second set. I got out. One of our best plays yesterday. This was the crucial set, the second set for Musetti. If you looked at the players he's been beating prior to coming into this tournament, you'd have been as confident as I was. Thompson, Harris, Nakashima, excellent yardsticks. De Minaur, for goodness sake. These are really good yardsticks for Musetti. Mapeshi Pericard got that win yesterday. So he's been playing some solid yardsticks and been beating them. So I was very confident once Lestienne won the first set, but this was the second set, was crucial. We were on the cusp of it being 6-4 to Lestienne. And I was wondering, am I going to lose all my dough? It was 3-1 to Lestienne, and then starts the comeback. 3 consecutive service games lost. 2 for our old pal Musetti, but he got through at the end. And he won the tiebreaker. That was a crucial set. It was this bit here, the fight. This was the crucial game. A couple of break points, staved off, and then you break. That was the crucial game. It could have ended up 4-1 to Lestienne rather than 3-3 and a set win. Brilliant. That's just the, I keep saying it, this tennis trading, it's predicated on those 1 or 2 crucial points being either won or lost. It can be the difference between a successful trade and you losing a whole whack. As I say with Harris, I hope you got out second set. Rublev 1.03, 33 to 1 return. That's how you do it. So I keep insisting, you've got to lay at these odds. The liability is ultra low. You want to just leave it at 1.05 or lower to keep your liability very low. They will be made to battle. 1 or 2 of them will lose their heads, and you could pick up a net profit for the tournament. 1.03 again, Jack Draper, made to battle, lost 2 sets. He lost his first set. You could have laid him at 1.03, backed him off at about 1.14. So up to you if you get out after the first set loss or if you hold on and hope for an Andrei Rublev. 1.04 again, pretty comfortable for Cameron Norrie. Taylor Fritz, 1.05. That's what you expect, but you are going to get the odd errant display, and that's where you clean up completely with a 33 to 1 return. The football today is very, very quiet indeed. Just the Norwegian Elite Serien. Sandefjord against Tromsø, 2.47 the favourite. Take a day off from the footy, basically. That's what that's telling you. No clean sheet for Sandefjord. 7 over 2.5 goals in the last 8. Both teams have scored in 7 of the last 8. Only 3 wins for Tromsø came at home. They've yet to win away from home. Not met any side 10th or lower. They're playing 16th today. So that's a question mark whether Tromsø will perform better against the side 10th or lower. We don't know. So it's a quiet one. Tennis, let's see if we can continue. Just have a look at some of the Telegram calls from yesterday, working backwards. There's the Jamie Munier and Billy Harris, only a £6 liability, so you're not going to get a massive return if he secures that third set to make it 2-1. So do bear that in mind, but do take the green. It's all relative to the amount you risk your reward. That's the Mazzetti, £19.85. I got out early. I should have stayed in, really, in hindsight, because he's just such a solid run of form coming into this, Mazzetti. It was just that second set which really worried me, because he just couldn't find a way to unlock Lestian. Lestian just kept coming back for more. But he got there in the end. This is one I cashed out of because there was a medical timeout for Korda. I was caught out with a medical timeout for Elise Mertens, where I lost my full stake because she retired in the second set. Once the first set is concluded and they go into the second set and retire, you don't get your money back. So I got out of that, and it proved correct. I think Korda lost the match. So do watch out for medical timeouts. They're a bit like a red card in the football. You can't legislate for them. This was an early green screen in the Mazzetti match. Given his problems in that second set, it's perfectly reasonable to take that. And this was the initial play. I thought it was very good value, Mazzetti at over evens. As I say, with that form coming into this match, over evens was extremely tasty. And we're not going to get the huge returns we get in football where we can back a team at 20s and win. With the tennis, it's more tighter. You're going to get an odds move from 2.22 down to 1.4 or something like that. It's unspectacular, but you can yield green screens out of it. This is the Korda play initially. I'm glad I got out. Don't like the £40 liability on a player who's just been medical timed out. So I didn't fancy that. Sometimes you've just got to take it. Pegula and Ashley Kruger. £2.80 liability laying Pegula. I'm not sure how this match eventuated. Let's have a look. I don't think we got anything out of this. But as you can see, the liabilities are very low. 6-love. The reason I got involved, well, I hope you can see it yourself. I've mentioned it in the past to fellow Americans. It just might be the fact that Kruger might know Pegula's game from the Davis Cup. Well worth laying. As you can see, the liability ridiculously short there. £2.80. So no worry money at all. But we're laying with a reason. And this is the one the day before, Noskova, where I backed it at 1.89 and got out without the first set even, or the set even being concluded. So looking on to today, let's have a look. I do like these early rounds. They can be very readable. I don't know much about Carla and Wozniacki, I'm afraid. This is where I'm lacking my knowledge. Haddad Mayo, she top 10. 20th in the world against 58th. So I don't know many of these players. I wouldn't be starring, I think. I'd just be playing by ear. Noskova got that win the other day. Andreescu, again, two familiar names for me, but a 1.8 the favourite, suggesting it could be a three-setter, this one. Corey Goff, another to lay at, let's move to 1.05 and lower to keep your liability low. I wonder if she'll do a Rublev and start smashing her knee up with her racket. Anger management for Rublev, and he'll be world class. He can't. You can see how tennis is a mental game, but having said that, he did have some abdominal cramps as well. Paolini against Minen. I don't know much about Minen, but 80th in the world, top 10 Paolini. She's been putting in some good performances as well. Got to back her. I think she beat Katie Bolter recently, or had a match with Katie Bolter, or one of the big names, because I did remember that. Daria Kazatkina, I think. Katie Bolter, there we go. Paolini beating her at Eastbourne. So that's a good yardstick, because Katie Bolter is riding a crest of good form at the moment. So Paolini, I would expect of her today. That would be a confident call. Maria Sakkari, my new future ex-wife, if she'll have me. World number 9. So we're expecting of Maria Sakkari today. Moving down, Pavlyuchenkova. Naomi Osaka, I've already mentioned. She's showing that fight. She had to show it in the last match at 1.25. Nowhere near a 1.25 favourite performance this. She was really made to work, particularly that second set where she had to come back from behind. I think she was down. She dropped her first 2 service games, 1-3 down and in a spot of bother. But winning her service game and breaking is a perfect response. So I think there's a bit of fight left in Naomi Osaka. Her odds have risen today, suggesting that she might be dropping a set here against Navarro. But she's well worth following. I think could be worth trusting, although she does have that flaky mentality, old Naomi. But there's no doubting world class still. Daria Kasatkina, 1.07. Could be laid pre-match. Emma Raducanu against Elise Mertens. This is going to be interesting because we know, and I've alluded to it earlier because I lost, Elise Mertens has retired on a couple of occasions very recently, 26th of June and 20th of June. I don't know the reason why. But in beating Karolina Wozniacki, you could see that form is franked because Woz's in a good bit of form at the moment. So this is going to be a tough encounter for Raducanu. Raducanu could be gettable if leading. If we can trust that Elise Mertens is fit. That's why I didn't play her the other day and she got through after losing the first set. Can we trust her now? Madison Keys should have a comfortable time of it. And I was about Saville playing Kostyuk. Now then. 19th against 82nd. Top 20 player. You can have a quick look at grass court form. You can research as deep as you want. You could research her previous match, look at the overall stats. Is she good at generating break points, for example, Kostyuk? Is there anything that we saw? Well, break points saved. 12 break points she generated because these are break points saved. So that's good for Kostyuk, generating 12 break points. So she's there or thereabouts. But anything else to learn? I haven't yet discovered the key to reading these stats. If you know the key, is it the first serve percentage? I think the second serve percentage would be good for a trading perspective because you can then hone in on your second serves. 16 unforced errors to 22. Max points in a row 11, so she can go on a bit of a charge. We're playing 100th plus, and you can check who she's playing today, 82nd. So still playing a high enough ranked player. Now research, you can go as deep as you want. You can look at overall, like we do in the football, look at overall, i.e. home and away. Or you can look at, for example, today's surface. So there's very little I can get from it. I prefer to do my trading, reacting and using logic rather than using statistics in this particular case. I use stats for football. It's far more manageable and more readable. But that could be a good match. Kostyuk, we know already she's world top 20. She can generate plenty of break points, which is what you're after. There's my Opal Tiafoe. Got us a really good trade the other day. Had to battle for it. And I think Borna Coric not really showed much. 89th in the world. He's just not moving down the rankings as he'd like. But I think Tiafoe should be doing all right. But he's out of the world top 20. I think his initial first round performance was excellent. Could be enough to see him through against Coric. Oh, Foggy. Not expecting much of Foggy today against Casper Ruud, but he still maintains some class. Chris Eubank. I think he can take a set or two off Quentin Halys. He was excellent at Wimbledon last year. You can, again, look at his form for Chris Eubank on grass, and it will take you to Wimbledon last year, where he lost to Daniil Medvedev 3-2, beat Stefanos Tsitsipas 3-2, beat Cameron Norrie 1-3, and Thiago Monteiro. So some really good performances from Eubanks with his monocle and his big truck all the way from Brighton to Wimbledon for Chris. Fantastic stuff from Chris Eubank. So I'll be following him. I will embrace a Quentin Halys lead. I think I could take on Halys. What are they like in the rankings? 220th against 62nd. That could be down to an injury concern if he's 220th and he's a favourite. Let's see, has there been an injury absence? Well, not really. Injury history, 11th of May, 2023. That's a bit near. Just rest. We could all do with that kind of an injury, couldn't we? So I'm expectant of Chris Eubank today. I think he'd be very competitive. Nakashima against Thompson, we could see both teams, both players scoring a set or two. I think Thompson is gettable here, even though he's the best ranked. He's got the best mullet in the competition, there's no question. Now that Purcell is out, from a mullet perspective, I think Thompson's the shoo-in to win mullet of the tournament. Purcell made that mistake of going out in the first round. I think Nakashima is too polished to be losing 3-0, so I would embrace a Thompson lead here, and I would take that on. Kazo, we know from the other day. Greek sport, don't know too much about him. Nishikori, old sick note, the Darren Anderton of tennis. Still maintains some class, but I wouldn't be trusting him. Elsewhere, Struff, I would still keep on the right side of Struff. He's excellent on grass, and he's really low in the rankings. Surprisingly, he's gone very much under the radar. 41, he's been even better than that. But they're tightly ranked, so I think we could see a potential for a 5-setter here. Very tightly ranked. You must take advantage of, or not take advantage, but just look at the rankings and compare them to the pre-match odds. I think Zhang might take a set or two off Struff today. These are rain delays. There's no problems for Algorithm. It's 2 sets up. And yet again, 2-0 to 2-1. 2-0 to 2-1. So that strategy is there for you. Nice quick in and out, as the actress said to the Bishop. 2-0 to 2-1. Danny Evans against Tabillo. Slight problems for Danny Evans, but he's not favourite today. So do you trust him to at least take a set? David Goffin has been playing in Challenger Tour events. Well, he's not favourite here, but he looks to be back to something like his best. Again, if he's 2-0 up, you've got to lay him, because Makak must win the next set, and he's pre-match favourite. Elsewhere, Daniel Medvedev, another one to lay, but he's not as flaky as Rublev. Alcaraz was beaten by Draper, so he can be gettable at 1.03. We're only looking for him to lose that first or second set, and we can get an odd swing out of it. Or if you want to stay in, of course, just leave it be and watch a kind of Rublev-like collapse. Grigor Dimitrov, usually reliable early stages. Shapovalov has been absent for a while, hence his move down to over 100. I think that's down to injury, was it? Let's have a look. 26th of July, very recent knee injury. 7th of May, knee injury. I would be backing Shapovalov. I'd be very cautious with Mr. Shapovalov today, even though he's very strong favourite. 2 incidences of a knee injury. Now, if that is niggled, Altmaier might have an avenue in. Shapovalov might be laid if he wins the first set, because his odds will be under 1.1. That would be my angle there, based on those 2 knee injuries. Very, very recent. The old stagers, nearly as old as Joe Biden, these two. Monfils. Good trading performances in Mallorca. Can always entertain the crowd. Stan Wawrinka has just been world class for God knows how many years. This is going to be a fascinating match. Far too short, I think. Monfils. Stan the man is still a class act. And Yannick Sinner, playing a fellow Italian, Berrettini, might know him quite well, might be able to hassle Sinner. I do get him mixed up with Rublev now and again, both gingers with long hair. So again, it's a very exciting Wimbledon tournament, and the football is far too quiet. No involvement there today. Thursday as well, it's going to be very quiet. I think we've got the Irish tomorrow, Irish Premier Division, Irish First Division. I think we've got a smattering of Norwegian football, or is that to come? No, it's just the Irish It's the weekend that we get to the quarter-final stage in the Euros, Spain and Germany. And look at the odds. 2.63 the favourite, 2.35 the favourite. Far too tight to call. Far too tough to call. Pre-match research, pretty much redundant. Similar story when England take on the Swiss. Park the Toblerone, I think the Swiss will be doing. Park the cookie clock in front of goal. Keep an eye out for my old pal. And 2 goals, Jude Bellingham. Netherlands looked very impressive. But Turkey have been winning away in Euro 2024 qualifiers. They won't be phased. They got rid of odds on Austria, kept them quiet. But this Netherlands chock full of attacking talent. They really are. Memphis Depay is very, very impressive to watch. Full of tricks. Even though he looks like Bjorn Borg. We've also got the Allsvenskan. So looking forward to some Euros. But the main focus will be on tennis today. I'll see members of footballtradingprofits.com on Telegram throughout the day. Have a great day.